All right, welcome back, everybody. We are officially recording this one. Niners are first in the NFC West, second in the NFC, and they just beat the Falcons, and we're going to talk about it after this. So I kind of like how this game was billed as like the two best backs in the NFL going head to head preview. I don't know if you guys watched much of the pregame, but it was a lot of Bijan versus CMC.
Yep.
And I love how CMC just reminded everybody, like, yeah, Bijan's pretty sweet, but I'm still the top dog in this league.
Mm-hmm.
What was your guys' just overall reaction to that game before we get into some of the details?
I thought Christian was looking good this season. He just had no space to run the ball because our O-line and especially interior O-line has been really bad. So I think I'm not that surprised. I figured it was a matter of time till he finally got loose, finally got some space. Finally, they figured out a winning game plan. And I think obviously this has already been beat to death, but Kittle coming back, having such a massive impact on the run game and a positive impact in the pass game, even though he didn't really catch the ball much or at all. I don't remember. No receptions. Okay.
None, but
Not at all.
he was key on that long third down in the red zone that Christian converted.
Yeah. So yeah, George Kittle was somehow still a very, very impactful player without even catching the ball. But yeah, I had a feeling it was a matter of time. I hope Christian can keep rolling. I'm glad they got to do it on national television, Sunday Night Football. Christian put on a huge, fantasy performance too. So just because that's where the average fan kind of sees like who's going off and who's not. And that vaulted Christian up to the number 2 fantasy back, passing up Bijan Robinson.
2?
Yes.
Who's number 1?
Jonathan Taylor. He's been insane. Yes, he is. He's been unbelievable.
I don't doubt that, but there's no way he's ahead of Christian.
I don't even think it's that close. I think Jonathan Taylor's quite a bit ahead of Christian.
I'm pulling up Sleeper.
I think he's got 10 or 11 touchdowns, which I think is what's propelling him to that.
And a lot of yards too. But he obviously doesn't have the receiving yards or the receiving touchdowns Christian does, but his rushing numbers are unfreaking real.
We're about to find out. I mean, I'll look at my my half point PPR Dynasty League.
Oh, Christian's probably better in PPR.
Oh, he's RB2. Wow. Okay, so let me check. Sorry, they're kind of getting off on a little tangent here.
The Colts have Taylor. The best offense
yeah, he's number NFL 1
this year.
Oh, so Jonathan Taylor just had. Oh, he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Didn't the Colts?
Yeah, I know he's been playing well. He's had 3 30-point games.
Yeah. I know this because he's on my fantasy team, and so I've been watching really close.
Just like you expected him to be, right, Chasen?
Well, what you mean? Just like I expected him to be?
I mean, you picked him because he was going to be good, but did you expect him to be this good?
No, I thought Bijan was going to be better. Bijan was the guy I was more hot on than JT. JT kind of worked out for me.
Yeah.
Well, JT just hasn't seen Tatum Bethune this year, so
yeah,
that's why he's going off.
That's right.
That's true.
So, yeah, getting back to the Niners, for me, my reaction to the game is I felt like this game was very satisfying. Probably because we weren't sweating it out in the final seconds like it feels like almost every other game has been this year. But also it just felt like a traditional Shanahan Niners type of game where, they were consistently effective on offense. The running game was working, and the defense, while they maybe didn't make any big splash plays, they were just good and solid all night. And I love having the team just kind of impose their will, right? And eventually overwhelm the opposition. It's just, for me, very satisfying. So that's the word that I keep coming back to.
So from what I understand about this game, and from listening to people smarter than me talk about it, is that the Niners did a lot less zone running And as we
Mhm.
know, that's Kyle Shanahan's bread and butter, the zone run scheme. And he kind of went Jim Harbaugh and went like gap and counter scheme and more like hat on a hat blocking and less like, sideline to sideline guys moving around. And the Falcons were just don't have A, the personnel, and B, they were just not ready for it. And
Mhm.
that's why McCaffrey was just gashing the Falcons up the middle. I saw that he averaged over 7 yards a carry between
Yeah.
the tackles. And of course, having Kittle back helps. Having Jawan blocking and those guys doing their job on the outside helps. But from what I understand, it was Kyle's scheme and adapting and changing and throwing a curveball at the Falcons that really freed up Christian. So, yeah, Chasen mentioned it in our group chat. The Niners just outcoached the Falcons like bad. Shanahan owned Raheem Morris, and Saleh owned the future Oklahoma State coach or whatever. That dude's going to college. I forget his name. Zach Robinson.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a college out there, his alma mater maybe, who just fired their coach, and he's already getting linked to that job. He might cut out before the Falcons season ends. So,
Dang.
yeah, I mean, the Niners' coaching advantage in this game and really all season long has just been so evident and so important.
And that's like, I agree. And that's like what we talked about in our preview going up to it. It's like, okay, they got talented players here, they got talented players there, but man, we definitely have the coaching advantage. And I think Kyle, I don't know, let me know if you guys agree. I feel like he's having his best season after last season. I was questioning him probably more than I have. And like, I still there's still a lot that I question. The reluctance to invest as much as I think we should in the offensive line, which I beat to death. But like, just strictly coaching X's and O's, man, he is having his best season, I think.
I think he should be coach of the year. I mean, we'll see. I know there's still a lot of football left to be played, but I do not believe any other coach in the NFL, any of the 31 other coaches, if you put them in his spot, the Niners would be 5-2. I think Shanahan's the only guy that gets them there. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying he's the best coach in the NFL, although I
The
think
best coach never wins Coach of the Year.
I think he's in the conversation. I think he's top 3 or top 5 best coach in the NFL. Yeah, I think it's a masterclass that he's had going all season, and I am so grateful that we have him as our coach, and I hope people appreciate it more because yeah, there's little things you can nitpick. And like we have talked about plenty of times, maybe Kyle the GM is not as good, but
Mm-hmm.
Kyle the coach, I mean, I'll take him over anybody. I don't want it. I wouldn't trade him for any other coach in the league right now.
Andy Reid?
Nope.
I
I don't
wouldn't
think
trade him for Andy
I don't
Reid.
think
No.
Andy Reid can do what Kyle does. Andy Reid is great when he has a really good quarterback,
Yeah, Andy Reid has Patrick Mahomes.
and he had Donovan McNabb. I mean, yeah, when Andy Reid, how I mean, Andy Reid is a really good coach, and he's one of those guys that would be in the conversation top 3 or top 5, and I think he's wonderful. Got a lot of respect for him. I don't think he's um, able to be as creative. And I also think that Spags gets a lot of like Andy Reid gets some of the credit that Spags should be getting. They have a good tag team going.
I saw Alex Smith cook with Andy Reid, so I think Andy Reid with Rock or Mac would be would be pretty good. Andy would be the only guy who I would consider, to your point. And I'm a Sean McVay believer. I think Sean's
Me
really good too.
too. I
But
think Sean McVay's a stud. Like, I think he's top 5 for sure. And unfortunately, I think that young Seahawks coach is going to be a pretty darn good coach
Yeah.
too, which sucks.
Yeah, McDonald.
Yeah, he's good.
He's doing great. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's really good. And he has a little bit of a history of giving Shanahan
Mm-hmm.
trouble.
I think Dan Campbell's in the conversation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Campbell.
But
I
to
like-
me, Shanahan's an easy pick over Campbell because
sure.
Shanahan comes with the play call and the scheme. Even though,
Yeah.
like Mike McDonald, he's a defensive guy, he does call the plays and he does scheme it up.
Hmm.
And Dan Campbell does not. Um, yeah, as far as coach of the year, the only other guy who I think is kind of right there with Shanahan as far as like just in the conversation is Shane Steichen, because the
He'll
Colts look like they might be the best team in the AFC, and
he'll
no one
probably
saw that
get it.
coming with Daniel Jones. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think Steichen will end up getting it because so Shanahan is going to suffer from the same thing that all established coaches suffer from. You
Yeah.
expect them to be good.
Yeah.
that's true, but a lot of people expect the Niners to fall off with all these injuries, and they're just
Hmm.
not. And
Yeah.
that could work in Shanahan's favor.
I
Another
Especially
think
if
dark
Purdy
horse.
comes back and wins a couple games and hurts his foot again, and Matt comes back in and they just keep winning, like they're just going back and forth. It's like
if
don't need another
they
quarterback.
if they get to, let's say, 13 wins, which I'm not saying I predicted 12 before the season, I think, right? If they get to 13 wins, I think it's a legitimate conversation, even if Steichen and the Colts are like 15-2 or 14-3, because just everything they've had to overcome. Like, 'cause I haven't been following the Colts all that closely, but I haven't heard of any of their household names missing time yet.
Hmm.
Yeah, as far as I know, Jonathan Taylor is DeForest Buckner and Michael Pittman and Daniel Jones. All their guys are out there.
Hmm.
I'm sure they've had some injuries. All teams have, but
Every team has, but yeah, it's who's been injured and where.
like, are there team captains on the field? Because I bet they are, and the Niners are not.
Yeah. Another dark horse is Vrabel with New England. They're 5-2, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they're kind of pretenders, but I'm just looking at who
Yeah,
Well,
got a good record.
I don't know if they're pretenders. Drake May looks really good. Their defense looks really good. I don't
Yeah.
know if they have the offensive weaponry, but they look. I agree with Jason that Vrabel's a dark horse, but
me shaking my head was not like that. You're wrong. Sorry, I just don't think he'll. I don't think he'll overcome the other options.
Yeah.
And partially because I think Vrabel is looked at as being a really good coach too. So he's got the same thing working against him that Shanahan does.
Yeah.
I know he's in a new spot, so maybe, but like, yeah,
plus
I
there was
just
a lot of questions like, is Drake May good? Is he not? And recently he's been looking like, man, Drake May looks like the real deal.
Yeah.
Um, what did you guys think? I mean, that was the first time we've seen. Not really the first time because Fred did miss one game in his almost 8.5 years as the Niners starting linebacker. But that was the first, I guess, second game, whatever. But that was the first time we got a real look at Tatum Bethune. Fred Warner was not out there, obviously. George Kittle and Trent Williams were hyping up the team before the game. I was curious who was going to do that. I figured it would be George. It was nice to have him back on a day that Fred can't be there. But what did you guys think of 48?
I am just blown away with the Niners' ability to just pull quality linebackers, just like they can pull quality running backs out of thin air. I'm surprised. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I knew Bethune was going to be the man. Like, I was actually more kind of wanting to see what Nick Martin could do. I believe that's his first name, right? The rookie,
Mm-hmm.
Nick
Nick Martin,
Martin.
the rookie,
I always want to say Zach Martin, but I think that's somebody else.
guard for the Cowboys.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Retired, I think.
gosh. I mean, yeah, it was a shock. He was the man. I hope he can keep it up. I like his mentality. I like his fire. I like that he wants to try and be a leader. I like that he honors Fred and talks about how much it meant to him, but also like, I'm trying to be my own player at the same time. I think there is like a healthy balance there. Um, I mean, it was awesome. I did not expect that performance, and I hope that he can do it week in and week out, just like number 54 can.
um yeah, I feel like I wasn't predicting him to do that or like to perform as well as he did, but I'm not totally surprised either. Like I think there's something about the Niners scheme and the guys that they target. And really I think it's a lot of credit to Sala. I mean, I saw somebody calling him the
Mm-hmm.
linebacker whisperer, and look at when he was with the Jets, he had good linebackers too, and I don't think he's just getting lucky and they just keep ending up with these diamonds in the rough. I think that it's got to be part of the scheme and what they're coaching up. He just they seem to find it. So I am glad, obviously, that they figured it out. I'd much rather have Fred out there. Don't get me wrong. Um, but no, it makes me feel better about going forward that they're going to hold down the fort. I don't think he's going to perform like that every week. I think that there's probably going to be some rough moments where like, ooh, I think Fred makes that play or Fred recognizes that or whatever. So, not ready to say, oh yeah, we're just fine. No big deal. But it was very encouraging to see. By the way, most surprising stat of the night to me the other night watching the game, when they showed Fred, they said 4-time All Pro, 4-time Pro Bowlers. Like, he's been around for 8 years and he's only made the Pro Bowl 4 times. What the hell? Like, how? He's been the best linebacker in football for at least 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
What are the voters doing?
Well, his rookie year, he obviously did make it.
Okay,
And then
that's
his
fine.
second year was when he like really came onto the scene. It was like that's when the nickname All Pro Fred. That was the 2019 season.
Yeah.
They almost won the Super Bowl. That was when All Pro Fred became a nickname. But that year he did not make All Pro or Pro Bowl. He was still
Wow.
in kind of how a lot of times when a young player establishes themselves and it's like, man, that guy deserves a Pro Bowl or an All Pro, but they don't get it until the next year. So he
Mm-hmm.
didn't get it either of his first 2 years. And then in 2020 he got it. And then but 2021 he did not get it. The team had remember the team was kind of down that year and
Yeah, 10
Debo
and
just went
7.
like superhero and carried the team.
Yeah.
And so that was the other year he didn't make it. And then after that, I don't know.
So he got it in 20, 22, 23, 24. Those are his 4 years.
Yeah.
But he should have got it in 19 and probably honestly
He
was
deserves
still
it. The way he was playing in his second year in 19, absolutely.
and he
Was he the best
probably
linebacker in football? Maybe not, but was he top 3? Yeah.
and he
He was
probably was still top 3 even in 21.
at
But
least a Pro Bowl nod. He probably should have had that, if not All Pro. So yeah, and yeah, Fred, or it was George. He started calling him All Pro Fred, like trying to manifest, like, dude, he's playing at that level. He deserves to be recognized. But
yeah,
he didn't
I
get it
love
until
it.
the following year.
I love
I so kind of like you, Steven. Like I wasn't necessarily surprised at how well Tatum Bethune played because every time I watched him in preseason, he seemed to be like a promising player. But I didn't really expect him to really go out and call the defense and communicate and get everybody in the right areas as well as
Mhm.
he did. Because you hold Bijan to, I don't know how many yards per touch, but he
Mhm.
didn't get loose like I thought he would.
Mhm.
That's not just Tatum Bethune running around making plays. Like that's everybody doing it, and they can't do that without somebody quarterbacking that defense. And Tatum really stepped in and did a really good job doing that. I thought Sam Okawanu was another like kind of unsung
Yeah.
hero from this game. I thought he made some plays.
Big game.
Too bad we lost 47. Bugatti Bryce, as they call him on the radio, because he looked really good. It
That was
sucks
his
they're
best
going to miss
game.
him for a couple weeks. The
Yeah.
rookies, Michael and Collins, those guys are really coming along. Alfred Collins had another fumble recovery.
Mhm.
The one guy who I think is not maybe has Diamador Lenore taken is he struggling? Is he taking a step back?
I
It
don't
seems
think
like
so.
every time he's on the screen, there's yellow laundry on the field.
Yeah, he's gotten called for some flags, but I don't think so.
Even if it's
I
a BS flag, like that PI, I thought was a total bad call.
is a terrible call. I saw some stats that he's been like super good in coverage and teams haven't been throwing the ball at him and he's just not at the line of scrimmage in the slot anymore. So he's not making plays in the run game like he used to. So maybe that's a solid argument is that like maybe they're misusing him because as a slot corner, he can impact the game more. But I feel like he's been pretty shut down on the outside.
that's what I think it is. I think he's been doing his job so well that that's why you're not seeing him. So the only time you're noticing him is when he's getting calls against him because he's very rarely getting targeted. And unfortunately, that also means he's not really getting opportunities to pick the ball off. So you're not really seeing a whole lot on tape, right? Like I guess if you went back and watched it and just see how he covers every play and, look at isolate on him, not the, where the cameras are for TV, you might appreciate him more. But I think he's having a really good season, and unfortunately it's going to probably be pretty anonymous.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because it seems like he's not doing a whole lot, and when he is on screen, it's like there's a flag, illegal contact, pass interference. He gets like one or two a game.
I feel like
Yeah.
the first few weeks I haven't seen as many lately, and I don't go I don't regularly look at PFF or whatever. It just depends what comes into my feed, right? But I know the first few weeks of the season I was consistently seeing stuff out there about Diamador Lenore gave up 2 catches for 16 yards when he was targeted and had
Yeah.
this grade or whatever. So it was like multiple weeks in a row to start the season where it was like, dude, this guy is locking people up and not giving up anything.
You know who was awesome that deserves a shout out? Chase Lucas. He's
Yeah.
filled in for Upton Stout in the slot and played great. Like his coverage numbers were excellent. He had that big 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 pass breakup where after the game he was talking about how he saw that like in his film study that when they line up that way and they motion over that it's an option route and he knew he wanted to jump it. He didn't catch the ball and pick it off, which would have been awesome, but he played awesome. I mean, shoot, give that position to him then. Like, I'm sorry, Upton, you've flashed, but if Chase Lucas is going to play like that, it seems like a no-brainer to me.
Upton hasn't been bad either, though. Like, it's great to have the depth. Obviously, we need
Oh,
it.
for sure, we do need the depth. I'm just saying, if Upton's healthy, I would kind of like to see Chase like it's his spot to lose it.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Chase has played well. He's like his hair's on fire out there. Like there
Yeah.
was the one play where he blitzed and he just slammed into Michael Penix and tackled him right as he threw the
Mhm.
ball and got it away. And I thought like, who the hell was that? Just came screaming off the edge. And then it's like, oh, Chase Lucas is in the game. Wow. And then
Mhm.
yeah, he almost had that pick. Yeah, I'll tell you who I love watching. I know we all do. Is I'm so happy Malik Mustafa is back.
He's so
That
good.
one play when he came flying up from the safety position and just destroyed Tyler Algier
Yep.
and like knocked him out of the game. It's like
Mhm.
what safety comes up and hits a back Algier's size and just destroys him. And there is no like I'm gonna break down for the tackle. It's just I'm running full speed into this collision and we'll see
Mhm.
what happens after that.
Mhm.
I'm so happy to have Mustafa back.
Mustafa has changed my outlook on our safety position, which I thought was such a huge weakness. And statistically, it was. They were getting picked on like crazy. And now we insert Mustafa, who's been great when targeted, has been great in the run games, been laying hard hits, has brought a lot of energy. And then roll out, whoever's the best out of Siegel, Pinnock, and Jair Brown, which it seems like it's Jair Brown who they're going with. Fine. If we could just get average safety play next to Mustafa, I think that's good enough.
I saw something on ESPN. I think it was Bill Barnwell doing like suggested trades that would benefit multiple teams. And he was suggesting that the Niners should trade Pinnock because their safety is like the one spot where they've remained healthy and actually have, so much depth. And a lot of teams across the league do not have two good safeties, especially since they're getting hit with injuries and everything. I was like, oh, that could be interesting because the Niners, might need help in other areas if they could get something for a safety. It's too bad it's not a more valuable position, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm against that because you trade Pinnock and then Mustafa hurts his knee again. It's like okay, our safeties are now
You're
awful.
thin. Yeah. No. I'm just saying. I thought it was interesting that like something like Jason said he was questioning to now it's like considered a position of strength and we have good depth.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the rookie Siegel kind of grab a hold of that free safety spot. Because
Yeah.
I don't know if it seems like Mustafa's got the play style of a strong safety, but I
Yeah.
do see him drop like into center field more often than not. So maybe they like him at free safety. Whoever's playing the other safety, it'd be nice to see the guy they drafted, Siegel,
Yeah.
who's really fast, grab a hold of that spot. But if it's Pinnock for now, that's fine. I don't think it's Jair Brown. I think Jair Brown is not very good, unfortunately, because he doesn't play very much. Clearly, Saleh doesn't really trust him, and he just doesn't really do anything when he's out there.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe they can convert him into a linebacker or something.
he got the most snaps outside of Mustafa, or he got the most snaps next to Mustafa. Siegel got like 10 to 15. Uh, Pinnock got somewhere around there, 15 to 20. And then I think Jair Brown was more like in the 30s to 40s.
They've been trying to use him like as a big nickel, right? And like
Yeah,
I have a feeling that he's the guy to cover tight ends or bigger receivers.
Yeah.
yeah. In most games this season, he's getting less than 10 snaps. This game was by far his most, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe there was just a matchup there. I mean,
Maybe
Kyle
Kyle
Pitts,
Pitts.
Drake London, these guys are big guys, so maybe they
Yeah.
just wanted the bigger nickel out there more. But, you go up against the Houston Texans, for example, next week. They have a lot of smaller, faster receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if Jair Brown's snap count is cut in half, if not more. So
Yeah.
we will see.
Can I share a really quick stat that
Yeah.
I just thought was super interesting? Do you guys know about DVOA? It's like a way to measure efficiency. So I saw this stat that Robert Saleh, when he was fired by the New York Jets, over the last 17 games up until when he was fired, the Jets had the number one defensive efficiency, number one in DVOA. 17 games prior to him getting fired. Since he's been fired, they have been 32. Legitimately, they went from number one to number 32. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy to to improve or get worse from that degree is pretty wild. The Jets always had a good defense while he was there, and if Zach Wilson had just been a competent quarterback, he and Joe Douglas would have gotten contract extensions. One of the guys I listen to, John Middlecoff, he's always said like, if you draft 20 players and every one of them is an All-Pro, but you miss on the quarterback, you're getting fired. And that's what Saleh and Joe Douglas did. They drafted so many good players, but they missed on the quarterback, and it cost them their jobs. And I do wonder when Saleh becomes a head coach again, because it will happen next year, the year after. Will he say screw the draft and just go get a veteran, or will he take another swing in the draft? Who knows? Maybe he'll say, "Hey, I know who's pretty good, Mac Jones."
Yeah, he's gonna be going after Mac Jones.
Speaking of Mac, I was going to ask you guys, are you guys anxious to see Purdy back, or are you kind of on the train of like, if Purdy needs rest, rest him and don't rush him?
Sit that pretty boy down. I want to see Max sling that thing. As long as his knee's okay, I want Mac. I really do.
Yeah, I kind of disagree. I want Purdy back. I don't want to rush him. I love what Mac has done. I have a lot of respect for him. Gained a lot of respect for him watching him. I just feel like the Niners offense has a whole other level when Purdy is in there, and I want to see that level.
They're running the Jimmy Garoppolo offense right now.
100%.
And we know that Purdy elevates Shanahan's offense when he's
Correct.
in. So,
but it's
Mac
not
is
worth
better than Jimmy.
It's not worth rushing him back. To your point, I'm not saying like, oh man, we got to get Purdy back in there. Mac is holding it down the fort. He's doing great. Great things, all positive things for Mac Jones. But I want Purdy as soon as he's ready.
I think we're going to get Mac at least one more.
Yeah.
I would say I think that we have a good shot at beating the Texans and then the Giants, who are our next two opponents with Mac Jones. I don't know if we beat the Rams, who are our opponent after that, without Purdy when he's hitting on all cylinders and has unlocked that higher level of Niner offense. Like, I don't know if we're going to beat the Rams again with Mac Jones with how well they're playing. We'll need Purdy back, I think.
I think the 1-2 punch is Purdy and Pearsall coming back. I hope Pearsall can get healthy, but the way he was looking before and the fact that they had
Yeah.
the connection, like it'll probably take him at least a game or two to get back to what he was doing or have the same rhythm. But my gosh, like think about the first couple weeks of the year and how Pearsall looked like he's the next star. Like it's a real bummer that he got
Yeah.
hurt. And I feel like, everybody was so worried about the receivers before the season, and now it's almost like maybe we can find somebody who does want Ayuk, and we can get a good player for him, and that's how we add Bradley Chubb or somebody. I don't think the Bengals need another receiver, but go find an edge or a good linebacker or an O lineman. I don't know. You're probably not getting an O lineman for a receiver, but anyways, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
about. Like how cool would that be to do like a mind trick on somebody and be like, hey, look at this guy. Last time you saw him, he was catching 1,300 yards and almost double-digit touchdowns, and he can be yours. Just give us
Trey
that
Hendrickson.
unheralded high pedigree edge rusher you have over there.
I have a wide receiver to throw at you guys. I don't think you guys will want him. I'm 50-50.
Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
I
No.
knew it.
He will run the right route. I'll tell you that much. He will be in the right
He just
spot.
won't gain an inch in yak yards.
Nope. He'll go down
Catch the ball,
immediately.
hit the dirt.
He's
Yeah,
like the anti-49er.
I think that Demarcus Robinson had like a bad drop, right, in the last game, wasn't it, the
Yes.
Falcons game? And that was frustrating, but I still have faith in him as a vet. Like, I'd rather have him. I hope Jennings can stay on the field. Pearsall, Bourne's been doing a good job. Like, you just start, and at some point, presumably, we're going to get Watkins, right? Like,
I wouldn't bet on it.
oh, you think he's out for the year?
Oh, no, I think he's fine. I just think Kyle Shanahan is the head coach, and he's a rookie receiver, so he's not going to see the
I
field.
see. I
It
see.
seems like he's a little bit in the doghouse or just pushed pretty far down the depth chart.
Okay. Okay.
Which
That's
would
fair.
mean, like, okay, so can we see Jacob Cowing? Can we see one of these fast guys?
Is
No.
Or
Cowing?
Demarcus Robinson, can you, like, catch the ball?
I think he can.
Wow.
Couldn't on Sunday.
No, he that was bad.
They
That's
need
bad for
someone to
Eddie.
stretch the field. No, like, no one can do it right now.
Right,
No.
right.
Especially when Purdy's back.
I did love that play. Wasn't it like a third down or
And 5.
yeah? And Mac just uncorks when I was like, "Whoa, you must see something down the field." And then it's like,
It's just
nope, just Demarcus Robinson with 1-on-1. He's just giving him a chance, and Demarcus just couldn't catch a punt.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really too bad because it was there to be had.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe Mac's like, I'll give DeMarcus a chance. If not, we'll get a flag. I mean, I wasn't mad at him for making that throw. It just was unfortunate. They didn't come up with it. All right. Was there anything else from this game you guys wanted to highlight?
The legend of Eddie P just keeps growing.
He's on a Hall of Fame track right now.
He's got to be like Pro Bowl or All Pro kicker. I mean, it's crazy that he's
He will
leading
be.
the league in field goals made. And God, I hope he can.
Is
keep
he
that
really? I
streak.
didn't know that.
He is.
They showed that on Sunday night. They said he'd lead, and that was before he made. That was when he lined up for his first one. So he made 2 or 3 more.
He would be the
2,
best
yeah.
fantasy kicker if we still had the kicker position in our league.
Yeah, I mean, if you went around the league to every team and you were like, okay, who are the 5 or 6 best additions to your team in the offseason? Like, Eddie Pinheiro might make that list.
That
Yeah.
wasn't even off season. That was in season.
I know, that was in season too. Like, from what I've heard, Hafunga has been really good for the Broncos.
Yeah.
George Pickens has been good for the Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's players out there who have done really well on their new teams, and Eddie P would have to be at least on the top 10 list.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive because I mean, he's going to miss a field goal eventually, right? There's
Well, he missed
no
his
way-
first one, remember?
Well, that was the extra point, though.
extra
Yeah.
point.
Oh, was
He's
it?
still,
Okay.
he's
He's
still perfect.
17 for 17 on
Okay.
Yeah,
field goals.
he's still perfect on field goals. So you know he's going to miss one eventually. There's no way he's going to go a whole season and hit them all. I mean, it would be almost unimaginable. But the fact that he's already started this hot and he's had like
Some long
5 or
ones.
6 50-yarders, like I feel like at least 5, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's in. It's not like 51. He's hitting from like 55 and 56.
Yeah.
It's honestly kind of silly and funny that he missed his first extra point. Like that was the
Well,
first kick
It's like, of
we got
course.
to watch him attempt, and we probably like after Jake Moody, and we're just like, oh no, oh no,
He did have that one extra point Sunday night that doinked off the upright. I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, whoa, that got squirrely. What was that?
His weakness is extra points.
I
Yeah, I
guess
guess
that's
so.
fine. Whatever. Just make, if you're going to miss an extra point here and there, but nail your 55 yarders. I mean, I say that, but then I'm like, if Jake Moody had made one extra point, then there's no overtime in the Super Bowl. The Niners are champions. So you just
Yeah.
got to make them all.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan, just to like a closing thought, or for me, it doesn't have to be the closing for the whole thing, but a closing thought for me is like I'm really getting attached to this team. Like I
Grit.
like this group of guys. Like I love that they're just scrappy and do what it takes to win. Like nobody, I shouldn't say nobody. Like we still have Christian McCaffrey, and he's putting up stupid stats, and he's on pace to be a thousand guy, which is pretty incredible, right? But
Mm-hmm.
aside from
Wow.
maybe him, it's total like team effort, and I think that's awesome. And it it kind of reminds me of Patriots teams when they were really good. Of course, they had Tom Brady, but it was like, who are these guys? Like nobody is spectacular, and that yet they're winning all these Super Bowls. Like it's just a bunch of solid dudes that are doing their job and playing the right way. I know they had some star players at points. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, you're talking about like the 2002 and 2003 Patriots.
I'm just talking about like in general, like they had their few guys, of course, but it was guys that you didn't know about or that were rookies or, second year guys or they claimed from some other team and they come to New England and all of a sudden they look just really good. Maybe not Pro Bowl good, but really good. And that's what this year's feeling like to me for the Niners. Like there's just guys showing up in their jobs and I love it.
I have a closing thought on this game, if that's all right, or one more
Yeah.
thing to add. Best game for the O-line. They played their best game, and I think that was a product of them running more power and gap scheme, and not relying so much on the outside zone, relying on receivers to make those blocks because they just haven't been, because we no longer have a healthy Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, and Debo Samuel out there who are all great blockers. But yeah, best performance. That was Dominic Pooney's best game. And I would never wish an injury on somebody. But you know who
Jake
I'm
Brendel.
talking about.
Jake
You know
Brendel.
who I'm talking about. Silver lining.
We'll see what Hennessy can do.
Yep. 17 pounds heavier. Also super athletic. Third
6
round
years
pick.
younger.
6 years younger. Third round pick, I think 3 years ago from the Falcons. Approximately.
I don't know.
He's got some talent. He knows the system. He snapped a lot of balls with Mac Jones being the backup center and the backup quarterback.
That's
Let's
true.
go, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Steven. This team is getting me to buy in. They're forcing John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to go out and add to this team and make a run. You can't do the like, well, we're young, we'll just kind of see what happens. Like, no. This team is winning too many games. It's too wide open. Go out and add something. And I'm not saying you have to go out and get Trey Hendrickson, but just add depth on the D line. Go find a linebacker. Go find a wide receiver. Go find someone who can help this team win, because this team has as good a shot as anyone, especially if they, get healthier. Brock, Pearsall. If some of these guys can get healthier, some of these young players, Bethune, Michael, Collins, these guys can continue to ascend. Why not? Why not us? That's kind of where I'm at this point. Why not us?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say, Juwan Jennings seems like he's the only guy who's kind of had some weird moments. He and
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Shanahan were getting into it on the sideline. I heard Larry Krueger talking about there was a play Sunday night where Mac was like scrambling and Juwan was running his route, and as he saw Mac scramble, he just stopped.
Hmm.
He didn't like come back to the ball, and Larry was like, I don't know if he didn't want to bring his defender to an already crowded place, kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, or if he was just frustrated and stopped. I don't know. And then you have the drop that leads to an interception. I will say my last thing was I thought this was Trent Williams, one of his best games.
Oh
He's been
yeah.
a little slow start this season, but there was that one play. It might have even been the same play Larry was talking about where Max scrambled to the left, was buying time, and then finally chucked it right over the D line's head to McCaffrey for a first
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
And Trent was kind of blocking no one. And as he moved to his left, Trent could feel the defense moving. So then he slid to his left, and that linebacker blitzed, and Trent just gave him a shoulder and leveled him. And it was like almost like a, do you know who you're trying to get through, dude? Like, I'm still him. And just destroyed the guy. And I was like, wow, that was the 71 that I've come to know and love watching. So
He's been getting better every week. I know he like hurt his foot or whatever against the Seahawks, so maybe that kind of slowed him down, or maybe it's just taken him a little while to get in better shape or whatever. But I feel like every week I'm noticing him playing better and better. So it's great.
it's good. I mean, he's an older guy. Maybe he just needs to kind of get the gears turning, knock the
Yeah.
rust off a little bit. Yeah. And he did get hurt in week one. Remember, he did get rolled up on, like Jason just said. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hopefully we can get George going in that next game, too. He had no catches, but if we can get him and Trent back into form, yeah, this team's going to be cooking. Yeah. All right. Let's end it there, and we'll try to get together and talk about the Texans game in a couple days.
Sounds good. See you, fellas.